Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And this week we got some banger figure news. Yesterday we got some really cool announcements and pictures from Mega House's Mega Hobby Plus online event. First and foremost, we got this painted prototype of the Gem series Lacus Klein 20th anniversary version. And I gotta say, this figure, despite being a prototype, is already looking really good. So I don't think they're gonna change too much about it, if anything, for the final version. She's got a vibrant smile, her dress is poofy, and she just looks like she jumped straight out of the anime. More details will be coming at a later date, but from the promotional images, we can already tell that she'll come with two Horos. Mr. Pink, the most famous of her Horos, and then the blue one, which, if I remember correctly, is the one that she draws the moustache on. But it looks like this one does not come with a moustache. At least not in the prototype, or maybe that's going to be a P Bandai Limited. Only time will tell. Next up then, we have the unpainted prototype for the Gundam Girls' Generation Sayla Mass swimsuit version. And I don't know if it's because the figure is unpainted, but the face isn't really giving me Sayla vibes. Like, the figure looks good, but I'm again getting that feeling of someone cosplaying as Sayla instead of it actually being Sayla. But just as with the Lacus figure, more information will be coming soon. And then finally, we got more lookup figures from Mercury. Suletta and Miorine are currently up for pre-order, which I will have linked down below. And now we got colored prototypes for Elan number 5, Guel and Shadiq, and the unpainted prototypes of Nika and Choo Choo. And I gotta say, I wasn't too fond of Suletta and Miorine because they looked a bit uncanny with their stare, but I think it was actually the open mouth that was throwing me off, because I'm really digging Guel, Nika, and Choo Choo. More details like the release date and price will be announced at a later date, but at least for the price, I'm fairly certain it's going to be the same price as the Suletta and Mio figures, so 4,620 yen a piece, around 33 US. But then the biggest and most expensive announcement came from Tamashii Nations, with the metal build Gundam Astrea 2 from Gundam 00 Revealed Chronicle. For a grand total of 24,200 yen, 174 US, it comes with a GN beam saber with effect part, GND beam rifle, 2 GND shields with slide out gimmick, a bunch of different hands, and 2 GN condensers because it was meant as a test unit for the twin drive system. But if those accessories aren't enough, you have two options. It is fully compatible with the other 00 metal builds, and you can also buy the Proto Zan unit for 7,150 yen, 51 US. It comes with the GND Buster Sword 3, which can also transform into rifle mode, and pieces to attach it to the backpack or to the shield. And if you've already spent like $174, what's another 50, right? Both the mobile suit and the accessory set will go up for pre-order on P Bandai and the Tamashii Nations website tomorrow, technically speaking, because with time zones and whatnot, it's basically now, and they're slated for an October release. This week's Gunpla news then wasn't quite as exciting. The Master Grade Eclipse Gundam Unit 2 went up for pre-order on Tuesday for 6,600 yen, 47 US, meaning that we also got some more images so we can see it in all of its edgy gloriness, both literally and figuratively, especially once you attach the maneuver striker to it. The kit is currently slated for a September release and is unfortunately P Bandai Limited. And the only other things then are 2 China limited kits. For 455 yuan, 64 US, there is the Master Grade Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz version Katoki, cross contrast clear color version, which is a very interesting color scheme and very much reminds me of the Bigro Pente, although I did prefer the color scheme on the Pente. And for 422 yuan, 60 US, there is the Master Grade Gundam Epion cross contrast clear color version. And man, does this thing look good. Like, it really gives me that Holy Knight vibe, which really goes well with the close combat orientedness of the Epion. The only unfortunate thing is that the white is clear, but it is what it is. Both of them will go up for pre-order on Bandai's Tmall on May the 31st, and they're slated for a December release. Meanwhile, on the gaming front, in Gundam Battle Operation 2, the MSN04FF Sazabi has joined the fun, together with its lobster claw fin funnels, and the newest developer newsletter has also gone live. I'll have the full thing linked down below, but here is a quick summary. To celebrate the release of the new Sazabi, the Locus of Red Comet campaign has kicked off and will last for 2 weeks. During this period, the Sazabi will be installed at the base camp. There is a big boost to supply drop rates, step-up supply drops with a guaranteed Sazabi, more supply drops which are of course related to Char, Zeong, Rick Diaz and Hyakushiki login presents, and special missions to get some in-game Char swag. And for the gameplay changes, they're adding 2 new support requests for custom matches. EMP Blast will disable radar and reduces visibility. It disables the skills Observational Data Link, High Performance Radar, Personnel Radar, and Fake Beacon. It disables Weapons ASL function, and you cannot receive Information Spot by allies. And these effects will also only apply to enemy units. Scramble then is very simple. It allows your entire team to respawn right away. There's also some gameplay tweaks, which you can check out on the official page that I will also have linked down below. Next up then is Gundam Extreme Versus 2 Overboost, which will get more of its details unveiled in a live stream tomorrow. And if you want to check that out for yourself, I will have that link down below as well. And then last, and also least, we have more information about the upcoming P-Fever Gundam Seed Pachinko game. They had a special event to tell us all about how it would work. Here is the gameplay chart. I have no idea what's going on either. They showed us the Pachinko machine itself, and I gotta say, I do really like the aesthetic of the thing because it very much reminds me of the 2000s. Nami Tamaki had a small concert and they had a Gundam Seed exhibition with some cool stuff. The birthday cake is really cute, and I'm also very curious about this vending machine. After doing some digging, it seems like it was only at the event, and I also couldn't find out what was in the cans. Like, is it just a drink that's in there? Are they empty cans to store stuff in? Or is there maybe like a figure inside? But whatever the case might be, the design itself is already really nice. And in other news then, on the 25th, Bandai opened up a new Gachapon Store in Fusa City's Libro bookstore. Advance of Zeta got some new designs, including a Barzam, so I'm gonna have to make a video on that next week. We got to see the cover art of Witch from Mercury's 4th Blu-ray, which has Nika, Choo-Choo, and her custom demi-trainer. The official music video for Witch from Mercury's 2nd season is up on YouTube, which of course is linked down below. And we got the rear view of the Zaku 1 girl and the Bigro that she goes into, as well as the story behind her really cool color scheme. It turns out that the inspiration was the MSIA Bigro set, which in Japan came with the Zaku 1 Black Trisars version. So for this version, the 2 units were combined into one thing, and the color scheme was changed to be more Origin-esque, apparently. Although I'm still seeing it as more Titans-inspired or Eric Blanc-inspired. And we've also got some mass production type Rico news. They've confirmed more cast members, and I've also got some good news for the people who want to watch the first season. In celebration of the second season, they'll be releasing 2 episodes a week on YouTube starting today. But for this official way to watch the series, there are 3 caveats. The first one is the least bad one, and that is that they'll only stay up until June the 29th, which is when the second season will start. The second one is that it is highly likely that the episodes will not have English subtitles. At the moment, the first 2 episodes aren't up yet, so I can't confirm it, but I will either have it on screen or in the top comment. And 3 then is that it is, of course, region locked, meaning that you will need to use a VPN like NordVPN to get around that annoying region lock. And in addition to that, NordVPN also offers you extra security while browsing online, and if you use my link down below or the code kkrt, you will not just get a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. Or your other option is, of course, finding a fan sub. And let's just say that, should you want to go that route, I would advise you to search for Ryo-san Gata Rico instead of mass production type Rico. You'll have more success that way. Allegedly. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 20th there was the high-grade gun cannon Kukuruzawan's Island version with its cannons and spray missile launchers for 2,530 yen, 19 US, the high-grade Heinrich Sturm and its beam cannon for 1,760 yen, 13 US, and the Action Base No. 6 clear color version with Witch from Mercury sticker set for 1,100 yen, 8 US. One day later then, Mobile Suit Ensemble 16.5 was deployed in Gachapon machines across Japan, meaning that you could get the Hainu Gundam, Kyrios Gundam Trans Am version, Overflag, GN flag, or a weapon set for 500 yen a spin for US. And another day later, the newest Witch from Mercury X Ariel, the snack, flavor joined the lineup. It is sour cream and onion, and the package features images of the 5 main characters. On the 23rd then, the Suletta prize figure got restocked in arcades across Japan, and in late May, some Mega House stuff will be releasing. For 770 yen a pop, 6 US, you can get the Mega Cat Project Mobile Suit Nyandam Earth Federation figures consisting of Amuro, Matilda, Sayla, Bright, the Gundam, the Gun Cannon Kai, and the Gun Tank. For 8,250 yen, 60 US, you can get a more normally proportioned Amuro from the Gundam Military Generation lineup, who also comes with Frau, a gun, and the manual of the Gundam. Then for 10,450 yen, 75 US, you can get a generic female Earth Federation Forces soldier, who comes with a gun, binoculars, a backpack, and a buggy, whose wheels cannot spin. But what are we really expecting from a small buggy that costs only $75 before shipping and import costs? That was sarcasm. But on the bright side, you can decapitate the soldier and replace her head with that of Sayla. And finally, if you really like the buggy, you can also get that as a separate set for 7,150 yen, 52 US. And something that went up for sale right before I started recording this video, the second set of Witch from Mercury Carddass cards. There's a total of 52 collect, 20 normals, 14 rares, 10 super rares, and 6 ultra rares, and packages of 5 cards go for 275 yen to US and a bit. For this week's reading material then, we got the July issue of Model Graphics featuring the high-grade Ariel Rebuild and Beggar Pente, the July issue of Hobby Japan featuring a special on Witch from Mercury kits and the high-grade gun cannon Kukuruzawan's Island version, the July issue of Shonen Sunday S Special in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized, the 14th and 15th chapter of Legend of Dragon Knight was released online, linked down below, and we also got the July issue of Gundam Ace, where a new manga kicked off. Gundam Wearwolf. Written with EA, as in to wear something. The manga is illustrated by Kei Ito, known for Space Battleship Tiramisu, and written by Yasushi Shigenobu, who worked on the Boruto anime. The main mobile suit will be the titular Wearwolf, and judging by the image, the Albion is back. Also, when looking at the cover of the magazine, because of like the colors and the shading, and also the style of the uniform of the front guy, it almost looks like it's gonna take part in the Witch from Mercury universe, because that really resembles the Astrea uniform from afar. But they are Titans. As for this week's Gundam apparel then, from Cospa, pre-orders went up for the Jawbro Invasion Aloha shirt, linked down below. And for 14,080 yen, 102 US, this thing can be yours. And if you look very closely, you'll be able to spot 5 different mobile suits. The Agai, Gok, Zok, Zagok, and Char's Custom Zagok. And from Bankore then, they started on Suletta Sunday with 2 Witch from Mercury collections. First up, a bunch of Mecha Gurumi items, featuring Suletta as the Ariel, Guel as a Daryl Balde, Elan as a Feroct, Shadiq as a Michaelis, Nika as a standard demi-trainer, Choo-Choo as her custom demi-trainer, and Mirine as Dr. Octopus. You can get these designs on a t-shirt for 3,630 yen each, 26 US, a pouch for 2,860 yen, 21 US, a foldable tote bag for 3,630 yen, 26 US, a standard tote bag for 2,860 yen each, 21 US, cushions for 2,420 yen each, 17 US, and face towels for 2,200 yen each, 16 US. And then the second lineup consists of acrylic stands. We get standard things like a Sophie, Nurea, and Mirine stand with images from the anime for 2,200 yen, 16 US, and also acrylic keychains of Suletta and Mirine floating for 1,760 yen each, 13 US, and it's really nice that they also come with a little stand to put them on, so you can actually have them like floating kinda. And then we're also getting something special. Big acrylic stands, which are twice the size of regular acrylic stands. Each one is about 20 centimeters tall, 7.9 inches, and will set you back 2,750 yen each, 20 US. With the available designs being Suletta, Mirine, Nika, Choo-Choo, Sharkmouth Guel, Elan, and Shadiq. And today then, you could pre-order a Black Shark custom t-shirt or white mass production t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 32 US, and a Black Shark custom bath towel or white mass production type bath towel for 4,620 yen, 33 US. And all of these Bankore items are currently slated for a July release. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. A few weeks ago, the Japanese fanbase was asked what their most favorite mobile suit from Witch from Mercury was. And unsurprisingly, the first place went to the Ariel, the original main Gundam of the series. And the reasons given by the people are that it looks cool, it's really powerful, the gun bits are very useful both offensively and defensively, and that it has a certain cuteness to it that contrasts very well with its overwhelming power. But with 594 votes, it was a very close call with the Ariel rebuild, who got 5,040 votes. And I was definitely surprised to see it so close to the top and almost winning out, after seeing it get a very lukewarm reception, let's say, at least on the English-speaking side. But yeah, the main comments on the rebuild are that it is also overwhelmingly powerful. The beam rifle is really cool, which I'm not necessarily on board with. It feels more like a Gundam than the original, which is definitely the case. The head and backpack now have more of an impact, and there still are some mysteries about it. Of course, some of which have since been revealed in the latest episode. And then in third place, with another relatively close call, we have the Daryl Balde, the amazing red machine that everyone was super hyped for, then under-delivered spectacularly in its fights, but then came back stronger than ever. So I definitely think that redemption arc had something to do with it getting 4,691 votes. As for the currently ongoing one then, with the upcoming quest prize figure, Gundam.info wants to know which machine we most closely associate with her. And, well, it's really not that much of a contest. Both Twitter and Gundam.info users agree that the Hobby Hyzak should be in dead last place, while her custom Yogdoga gets a respectable second place, but still far from the Alpha Azero, which is in a commanding first place. So basically the results are already in. But should you still want to vote, I will of course have that linked down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.